How many times have you been to New York?
Yeah, outside of games, we played the Jets before. We played the Giants. I'll go back to a kickoff return I almost took to the house here in New York. Preseason game 2 versus the Giants. We bounced right, go run left, bounce right, got caught back down at the 5. Should have scored it. Got up pretty mad about that one, but. Hey yo, it's the CE show, man. This is episode 9. This is the 4th location we have been in. Clap it up for the CE show. Clap it up for the CE show. We've been to 1 Las Vegas. We've been to 2 Cincinnati. 3 we've been to Detroit. Now we're in New York City. We're here, and like I said, man, we gonna keep working. And you gonna find that out once you continue to watch our stuff. I got my co-host Drew in the building.
What's good, y'all? I'm Drew Evans, co-host of the Differential Vodcast and a proud member of the E-Freak Superdome. Let's get paid today.
Absolutely. And one thing you may ask, this question is, why New York? Why do we come to New York? We're in the Midwest. We go Midwest. I feel like we have the Midwest cities pretty much on lock, right? We done did all those cities, and from doing tournaments to doing teams to doing everything there. Now we come on the East Coast. The last 3 years I actually been in New York. This week specifically is New York Fashion Week, and me wanting to be at the pinnacle of fashion, just figuring out how I can get involved, how I can learn. You know what I mean? That's a space, like if you've seen our last episode, that we're new to, we're growing to. You seeing about our style evolution and how we grown as, you know what I'm saying, being stylish. So that's why we're here. You know what I mean? This is something that I want to do every year, just to be down here and different things like that. This is a great podcast studio. Shout out to Gotham Productions, man.
Yeah.
This is an elite spot. Water is elite.
So we walk in, and I'm like, this is a great set. I'm like, oh, man, I look around, and I see the water on the table. Like, is that for us? I'm not going to drink it. The water looks expensive, so
Definitely.
Appreciate it. Shout out Gotham,
New York, man. New York, and it ain't nothing like going to Times Square for your first time and you hearing the New York song on the speakers in Times Square, and you're looking around and seeing all the lights, and it's crazy. But when you come time after time after time, we here to get work in, no matter where we at. We talked about it. Go back, episode 3, episode 4. There's no vacations, man. Just change the scenery. So, Drew, this is Drew's second time being in New York. Talk to us about New York, second time.
Yeah, it's great. Like, it's really beautiful. Really here, just being here, I'm taking in the views. Last time, it was like really just getting into it, because I wasn't here for as long. I was here for 2 days only. But now, I'm here for 4 days. So really I'm just taking it all in, consuming what's out there and what's to be consumed, just looking and enjoying myself. Like, later when I get my own downtime, I cannot wait to go explore, and walk around and just see what the city has to offer and the part we're staying in. So that's something I'm excited for and looking forward to. How many times have you been to New York?
Yeah, outside of games, we played the Jets before. We played the Giants. I'll go back to a kickoff return I almost took to the house here in New York. Preseason game 2 versus the Giants. We bounced right, go run left, bounce right, got caught back down at the 5. Should have scored it. Got up pretty mad about that one. But I remember that in New York. New York is just you think of the biggies, you think of the Harlem Globetrotters, if you know about them. That's something I still got to see and learn what the concept is of it, because those dudes, they're hitting from half court. They're doing different things like that. So just being in New York is just elite.
Period. Just like speaking about the Harlem Globetrotters in New York and just New York culture, you got to talk about basketball.
Absolutely.
And we come from Indiana. Like, basketball is huge. In Indiana, like the Rucker Park got called the Mecca of basketball in the States. So really being here, like, basketball is huge too. To us, like, everybody say it's more than basketball to us. It's more than basketball here. It's Indiana, but still, like, New York is giant, and like they got Madison Square Garden here. Before anything else, Madison Square Garden is a basketball venue, but they've hosted many, many, many other events. So I just feel like being in New York and just seeing like how much different it is and how much bigger it is compared to what I'm used to. It's really doing a lot for me. It's making me think like there's more to than the life I live in Indiana. I can expand.
And for sure, and as we expand to the East Coast, the title of this is CE Expands East. If you kind of look at it and say, why go east? Why not go south? Why not go west? Why not go do that? Let's think about the concept and really break it down, right? So number one, the Midwest, we don't have a lot of indoors, especially like when I was in high school, there's no indoor facilities to get work in. You know what I'm saying? But these guys on the West Coast and on the South, in February, they working outside because it's hot outside, right? Mm-hmm. So they're always going to have the advantage. So when we talk about which coast to go to first, the East Coast makes more sense because it's actually still cold on some of the East Coast. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So as we continue to go and we start trickling down to the Carolinas, as you see, we're doing CE7 Raleigh, March 21st and 22nd. That's going to be elite. You might see, and it's saying might right now, when you see this, it might be stamped. CE Stars, 15U, Indianapolis going to Raleigh to be able to go East Coast to go and dominate. And we're not just coming just to, hey, let's just compete. We're coming to dominate. That's the level of standard we got to do. And yeah, speaking of CE7 Raleigh, I'm here with the 15U coach right now.
What's going on, everyone? I'm the CE Stars Indy 15U coach, defensive coordinator. We're great. Recently I've stepped in to call some offensive drives, and that's really fun. Learning the game from a different perspective and seeing my players make plays. I'm a play caller. I can only do so much. A wise man once told me, it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and Joes. Oh my gosh.
Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
Come on now.
Oh my gosh. So, all my young bulls on my team, they're all great, red and white. Like guys like Oliver and Aiden Carpenter, like all those guys I give a shout out to last time, those plus more. Everybody stepping up and making their own plays. And it makes me so proud, Something else funny that last time I was here talking about CE Stars, I said I don't like to lose and things like that. We lost a few games, it's just a part of it, right? It's a part of football. It's a part of the game. And then a few kids from like the other team, like who watched my podcast or watched the podcast, like I thought you didn't like to lose. So that was really funny. I give it to them. I kind of put my money where my mouth is. It's just kind of how it works.
But at the end of the day, the whole thing you got to look at is that means they watching the podcast.
Yeah, they saw the clip.
They saw the clip, right?
They saw the clip.
I'll talk a little bit about it in the next episode. But when I went to overtime, I don't got to say his name, but I seen a guy that I mutual friends through, our alma mater, University of Michigan, and he said, "I see you doing the podcast," and I said, and in my head, we only shot it like 3 times, 4 times, and then it's just been rolling ever since. But in everybody else's head, it looked like we recorded it that day. If you asked them, right? I'm like, what you seen today is what we recorded 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? So this is all strategic. So when people talk about the podcast, I'm kind of like, oh, but I told you guys on the last episode, a couple episodes, whatever episode you want to go to, if you consistent and on time, you're going to outlast them all, period. Now, like I said, you can episode 2, 3, I'm just naming episodes where I think. We said any 2-man podcast, they not going to work harder than us, period. There's a lot that goes into it, even coming in here rolling dice on some episodes, just talking. We may be doing that right now.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah. We may be rolling the dice and say, hey, what we talking about? But it's all about turning the camera on, talking, and then, hey, this is not even half of it, just talking right here. This is the easy part. Everybody can get in front of the camera. Everybody can talk. But can you go through the editing process? Can you go through making sure clips go out every day? Can you make sure that there's a process, a content calendar? So anybody out there is trying to do a podcast, anybody trying to do anything similar, like just start. You know what I'm saying? Just start and just, it don't got to be perfect all the time. Absolutely. That's what I learned.
So not too long ago, in our Lost Files, in the Lost Files of the CE show, we shot a few episodes. I was in a suit. It was crazy. But something I said, one of the first clips we were ever going to put out, was about taking the first step and like how take the first step. That's the hardest part, but that's the easiest and funnest part because you get to start and try something new. Maybe it's just how you're attacking things, but yeah, I just remember that because we haven't put that out yet. That might come out soon though.
For sure. And let's talk about taking the first step, right? And let's dive into a little football here, right? I'm just gonna go into, I'm a football guy. I talk football every time. We'll fast forward to Drew's junior year on tape, or I don't remember what year it was. I honestly don't remember. But as a linebacker, right? We're looking through the brow here. I'm just channeling my inner linebacker coach, okay? We're looking through the brow here, all right, fellas? We're looking through the brow, right? Right, I'm reading my guards. Right, I play running back, so I'm just saying what I've heard of a collection of things. Read the guards, and if you want to check out on CE Gaming, I'm playing Mike. I'm playing middle linebacker. I just made a excellent Mike linebacker play. If you want to watch it yesterday, but at the end of the day, I'm keying the guards. But at the end of the day, I'm looking through my brow. Ball snap, I'm taking a step up. Right, step up. Right, step up instantly. You go on the tape during this time. I'll let him talk about it. It steps back, and I at the time I didn't understand it, but to take steps back, it kind of like, you don't get caught down in there. But Drew, talk to me about that and that transition for you in breaking that habit.
Yeah, thanks Chris for the strong introduction.
Absolutely.
I feel like if you don't know, me and Chris, we rehearse every time before episode. Absolutely. Every time we go through an episode, we rehearse. Right, first time we're standing outside, we're talking okay, we're gonna talk about this and that, right? Everything on the episode is intentional and planned out, but that's not. I wasn't expecting that. I feel like I'd want to bring it to the camera, but guess we're gonna do that. So it was my sophomore year, Chris. Thanks.
Absolutely.
My sophomore year, I always jumped back to reset my feet because my stance was bad.
Oh.
My stance was, I was kind of set like an offensive lineman, like a tackle, how a tackle has its leg back in my linebacker stance. So to reset my feet, I'd always hop back, then hop under myself. That's a lot of wasted movement.
Absolutely.
So that's why I had to realize I had to change my stance or my position. I got told that I could possibly not get recruited because of my initial movement at the snap of the ball. So I'm like, oh man, dude, I either need to play edge rusher because this is such a bad habit. We're going through spring ball and stuff. It's summer. I'm like, oh man, yeah, it's about to be summer. I haven't fixed this habit, So, yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, no, really.
For sure. Yeah. I just, I'm kind of going all over the place. He may not have heard that in rehearsal, but that's the thing about the CE show. You never know what you're gonna get. All right. How I want to talk about this. The main thing that we're getting to is expanding east. And I know we talked about it, but at the end of the day, exposure leads to expansion. That's I feel highly on that concept as far as this is Drew's second time in New York. Now he feels a little more. He can't wait to go do this. He can't wait to go do that just because he's in a different space. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people where they grow up is the only place they go. You know what I'm saying? They go to school. As soon as they get done with school, they back at home and they're working for the family and they're doing like that. But they don't get to see what the top of a mountain look like, or you know what I mean, or the top of a skyscraper look like. You know what I'm saying? And just being able to get them to see it. You know what I'm saying? That ties back into CE Stars and the mission of let's take them to college campuses. Let's take them to the flights on flights to go places. The first time we went on a flight, there was kids saying, "I'm scared to go on a flight." Right. So even when Drew's first time coming to New York, he was like, "Hey." You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really sure, you know what I'm saying, getting on the flight and stuff. But at the end of the day, did you feel like that the second time? Didn't. And then it just keeps on going and going. I was so scared when I got on my first flight. I'm thinking what's the odds? And then once I started looking at the data, driving a car is almost more dangerous than getting on a plane. You see what I'm saying? As far as from car accidents and different things like that. So
back to your CE claim. Recently, as of this date, it's the 11th or 12th of February, and in January and February we had three big tournaments or three big competitions, and towards the last one, we got our jerseys. This year we're Power Rangers, right? Go Power Rangers.
Absolutely.
It's morphin' time. And then I'm like, man. So then it's Sunday of our third tournament, right? So this is the most recent tournament we played. It's Sunday. I'm like, I type, change up what I got on. But then I see my players. They got the range, like they have the Red Ranger jersey on. I don't know if you guys saw them, but oh man, am I jealous. What I grew up on, I know there's a few people that are going to watch this. They know exactly what I'm talking about. The yellow jerseys. The yellow and red with the red helmet. Like, that's what I started with. The checker. I feel like the checkered is just I feel like the checkered is a unmatched vintage jersey that I feel like we should retro. And like today, me and him, we were talking about like battle jerseys that Battles put out. We should retro that and put it in like a on like a soccer jersey or like a baseball jersey, retro that, and then like get that out there and then give that to like alumni or some things like that, just to show homage, because that's like really without that, like without that jersey, without a lot of things, we're not where we are, but that jersey really stamped us and said we're here. We won a lot of tournaments in those jerseys,
Yep. And the black checkered is the one I would say for Sea Stars Indianapolis back with the black checkered year was the turning point, right? That's DEF CON at Rocky Top. Dude. You know what I'm saying? The whole tournament watching. And that's when I really learned we got some dudes from Indy that they not going back down. You see what I'm saying? I was skeptical about, you know what I mean? You got to think I go from coaching Detroit to Indianapolis. It's two different mentalities just based off, you know what I mean? Their situations. But and on the vice versa side of it, it's like it could be good for you. Sometimes it could be bad for you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the group. So it's all about just aligning. But when Tank, Dylan, Wallace, Mason,
Keyshawn,
all those guys, they went up against DEF CON and they came up. DEF CON was woo. And I think we lost to them by the buzzer. It was respected. Like they left there and it was like, okay, them right there, we gotta respect them. So that really turned the tide. And then Ty posted the video on the way back, blew up, took us to that stratosphere there.
Something else that was there, and as we're gonna transition in here, some people that were there, that cover that was Turn Me Up, man, or like Under the Radar.
Under the Radar
was there, and then everybody's like, oh my gosh, who is this? I'm like, I'm on the 15U at this point, right? Man, I'm getting old. Right, I'm on the 15 at this point, and Dylan Moore just snagged over two people with one hand in the back of the end zone, and we just hear something erupt, and I'm like, what happened? The whole tournament is on the field in the back of the end zone. If I can play it, I'll play it here. I'll edit it in. Oh man, that was. I think I saw Dylan Moore as a superhero that day. Like, oh man.
After that day, truthfully, you want to be honest, like, and 707, as you know now, it's an accessory to actual football, right? And like that's the flag football. You're gonna be able to play flag football and then play flag football on the same rules. But that day, I thought Dylan had enough to get a Bama off or something like that. Just out of nowhere, just off the. Rather it's real football or not. It's receivers versus DBs, ball in the air, right? You got pads on or not. And
it's 50-50.
Running across the middle is different, but it's 50-50, whether you got pads on or not. It's still 50-50. You know what I'm saying?
It was two of them, too.
And he made that, and I was like, and then he goes play defense. You know what I'm saying?
And plays safety and gets a pick.
So, I'm talking about in college. Just he goes on the defensive side of the ball. He just made a play like that at X. You know what I'm saying? Or at Z. So, soft cut. About to wrap it up and pass it to you for the Ayo, this is the CE show, man. We just finished up episode 9. The wise words of the day, like Drew said earlier, it's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. So it's not about the strategy. It's about the actual people on your team to make that happen. Drew, follow us up for the recap.
So today we went over a lot, like New York, my second time being here, planes flying, CE Stars, jerseys, me getting older, Dylan Moore, and yeah, that's really, I think, all we went through. You know, do not forget to follow us on all of our socials, _CE_show. And that's been me.